I gotta tell you, I'm sorry. Sorry we let him get elected. Folks, what's happened is we've seen a vastly accelerated effort to eliminate the Constitution of the United States of America. My name's Eric Story. I ran against Gene the last 2 terms. If I find enough support, we're going to send him home. We're going to run again and send him home. I am fed up with this stuff. And what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you what I will do. First, I will stick to the plan that our framers gave us, and it restricted the power of the federal government. The Constitution did not give them the authority to take over our banks. It did not give them the authority to take over the automotive industry, and it did not give them the authority to take over health care. It restricted them. And they have one purpose, and that is to serve the states, not to enslave the people, and that's what they've done. Listen, I'm a working class person. Well, I was till 6 weeks ago. And I got caught up in Obama economics. After 27 years with a company, I got my pink slip. You know what? I have been and am still where the people are. And I will never forget that. I live in the same precinct that Gene Green lives in. I live in the $60,000 side of the precinct. He lives in the $1 million side of the precinct. Okay? I've worked since I've got out of school, and I know what it means to work and to take it. Listen, I was credentialed minister for 20 years. I was not behind a pulpit. I was working the streets with people who needed care. I was working in the prisons where people needed some care, needed to have somebody here, and to also to show them a way out of the streets and out of the prisons without a handout, but by lifting themselves up. And I believe that's what we need to do. We need to provide jobs to Americans instead of the Chinese and the Mexicans. Guess what? I'm going to probably make a few people mad here. I ride a motorcycle. I refuse to buy a Harley Davidson because they make them in China and Mexico. I'm looking at a Yamaha. Now, they don't make them here, but guess what? The design team at least is here. And I'm not sending money to our enemies. And I say our enemies as openly as I can, because that nation to the south of us and that nation to the Far East are doing everything they can to destroy this country. And we have let them, and we got to stand up and stop that. Listen, I'm all for legal immigration. Legal immigration. But if you don't, and by the way, I think there needs to be some restrictions. If it's a nation that's known as a terrorist nation, I'm not real sure we ought to be giving them a visa even to come in. And if it's a nation that has sucked us dry, I'm not real sure we need to bring anybody else in from there. And I am seeing thousands upon thousands of visas giving for what's supposed to be the best of the best, the Chinese and the Indians to come in and take our IT jobs, where our kids are told you can't get into the university even to take the course. If we're going to let people in, it needs to be for the menial jobs and keep the higher paying jobs for Americans.